I think what we learned for this year is if you see a game that you think is really good, talk about it. Make videos about it. Stream the game. Do something. Make sure your favorite streamer plays the game and, you know, rise it up. I think that should be what we should be doing right now, because games like Balatro and Astrobot definitely went under the radar. I'm not gonna lie. For a significant amount of people, definitely went under the radar, right? And I think that's why it's such a controversial thing that Balatro, or not Balatro, Astrobot won, is because nobody knew about it, and then it won. What's up, YouTube? Yo, welcome back to Steam Awards 2024. Okay, so the results are out. Hopefully everyone had a good New Year's, you know, enjoyed their time. I mean, yeah, you know, like, let's make this year your year, you know? Like, let's get this year, all right? Let's beat this year's ass, all right? Last year beat my ass. All right, so this time it's payback. All right, there's a revenge. With that being said, how about we hop into the results, shall we? And honestly, what I'm already seeing is very satisfactory. I'm not gonna lie. There we go. The Steam Awards 2024. Now you can see that the Game Awards were rigged. All right. Now, you could say, oh, well, Astrobot is not on Steam. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Exactly, bro. I think, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I think that exclusives shouldn't have a right to win. Considering, in the end of the day, this is more of a popularity contest than anything. Okay? Because people buy games, right? People use their hard-earned money to buy games. There's no objective trickery going on here, all right? If people buy a game in mass, right, and only say good things about it, right, it should win. And that shows, all right? Because Black Myth Wukong won, like he should, alright? I'm not saying Astrobot is a bad game. I think it's a fantastic game. It's a great platformer. However, it shouldn't be Game of the Year. And anyone who doesn't understand that, I'm sorry, I can't explain it. I just can't explain that, bro. Because you should know. You should think logically. If how many, like 8 million people in the first day of the release of the game buy this game, say the game is great, only praise the game. The game has only, look at this, only overwhelmingly positive reviews. All right, a game that is made to piss you off, a game that is testing your capabilities in the game. Speaking of, look at this fucking tiger fight, bro. One of the most difficult bosses I've faced in this game thus far. If the game that didn't do all that won, that just means it's rigged. And if you don't get that, I'm sorry, bro. I cannot understand. I cannot explain that. Anyway, so yeah, Black Myth Wukong won Game of the Year, as it should have. Next up, the VR Game of the Year, Metro. I'm assuming it's a fantastic game. I haven't played it. I think I voted for oh, you can actually show the, oh, you can see who they beat. Oh yeah, okay. So obviously Balatro was not gonna win above Black Myth Wukong, right? Like, let's be honest. All right. And I think, yeah, I voted for Five Nights at Freddy's because that's the only one I played. That's the only one that, all right, that's just the only reason, all right? I don't really like VR games by itself, so like that much anyways. That could be because I still got an old ass fucking Rift, right? Like 120 FPS, you know, like kind of motion sickness connoisseur, if you would say. So that might be the reason. You know, I don't have the Steam version, right? But that's why I voted Help Wanted, because I mean I'm a big FNAF fan, and I had a lot of fun with my friend playing it, so that's why. Next up, the Labor of Love Awards. Okay, so Elden Ring won. I voted Stardew Valley. I mean, as I think I said last video that all of these could have won, right? I just thought Stardew Valley because it's like one of the oldest here, and Dota 2 is not really that liked in like a broad spectrum, but Stardew Valley is a pretty liked game and has a broad spectrum. Same with No Man's Sky. After the update, a lot of people came back to it and you know, gave it another shot, and I really loved it. Baldur's Gate, you know, fantastic game among the fans. So, but Elden Ring, I mean, this is what I mean. Like, it's more of a popularity contest, right? People buy the games, and people love Elden Ring. But I said I think the game didn't really have a lot of updates later on in the game, but it is a fantastically crafted game, and honestly, Elden Ring definitely deserves this win. I'm totally okay with that. Only problem, like, Elden Ring, like, it didn't came out last year, you know? That's kind of my issue here. That's why I didn't vote for it. I don't know if I said that in the video initially. I should go back and see if I did, but I don't think Elden Ring should have won, you know, because it only had a DLC, you know? I'm still firm on the statement that DLCs shouldn't win Game of the Years or anything like that. I think they should make a best DLC of the year. And the reason I said that is because if DLCs can get awards, right? That means we get more value for our buck in DLCs, right? Because if a DLC is just content that feels like it should have been in the previous game, it's not gonna win the DLC of the year, right? So they have to, like, actually put in effort to make a DLC that people are gonna say, like, yo, that was a fantastic DLC. And I think that would improve the gaming community, like, by a significant amount, right? Because DLC is most of the time just, oh, a couple skins, cosmetics, maybe a weapon, you know, like nothing major, you know, small little like tidbits, maybe Easter egg or whatever, right? But Elden Ring was like, hey, you know what? We got Elden Ring 2. Here you go. Completely new world, completely new movesets, completely new weapons, completely new bosses, completely new storyline. Like, it's just a mini Elden Ring. And it's 10 times harder than the first one. Good luck! Yeah, I can't hate on that, no. I think Elden Ring really pushed the agenda of make better DLCs, because we're gonna beat your ass every single time if you have the chance. But yeah, Labor of Love, Elden Ring. Best on Steam Deck, I said Balatro because it made more sense, because I mean, Balatro was on the Game Awards, right? I didn't really play any of the others ones, but if I would think of myself, right? Let's imagine, all right, this Switch is a game, it's a Steam Deck, right? If I would be laying here playing something, I don't think I would play a very intensive game, right? Why do you think on the DS Mario Kart was so popular? It's a very casual game. It's not a very heavy intensive game to play. Very chill. Alright, you can get mad, don't get me wrong, but it's very chill. I mean, same with like Nintendogs, you know, like that game was very popular with maybe that's just my interpretation, right? Maybe people on the Steam Deck playing the most wildest games on there, you know? Like really intense, like really, you know, having to click, you like do shit, you know? But my interpretation of if I had a Steam Deck, I would be playing something casual. I don't think I would be like Like this, like the Deep Rock or Hades. I don't know what Rogue Trader is, so I didn't vote for it. Or Balatro, because I mean, it was a very popular game. Apparently, it was very popular. A lot of people liked it. When I said that Balatro shouldn't have even been nominated, a lot of people were like, no, it was actually a really good game, right? So, yeah, I picked Balatro, but apparently people picked God of War. Honestly, I'm good. I'm good with that, you know? If people like God of War that much on the Steam Deck, then, well, good on them, you know? Good on them. Then we got the Better With Friends award. I voted Satisfactory, and of course Helldivers won. I mean, of course Helldivers, bro. It was like between Helldivers and Space Marines. That's obvious. And the fact that Helldivers had a little bit of controversy with Steam or with Sony, right? Where it got banned for in a lot of countries because you couldn't make a Sony account in those countries. It still won Game of the Week. Better, like it still won something, you know? It still won an award. And that just goes to show, just because there's controversy surrounding a game, if the studio responds appropriately, there's no issue. You know, there's no issue. So yeah. Damn, that's gold already? Fuck, that's quick. Outstanding Visual Style Award, Silent Hill 2. I haven't played it. Now, since now I've played Metaphor, and holy shit, I picked right. I don't know how Silent Hill 2 looks. I mean, if anything from the picture, right? It doesn't look that great, but I mean, let me see the Steam page. Yes, I am indeed old enough to play the game. Yeah, it's not very colorful, is it? Very grim and dark. I mean, it's a horror game, that makes sense, right? But still. I mean, it looks like a solid horror game. I won't, you know, won't knock it until I try it, of course, but I mean, it is on my wishlist after all, so I was planning on maybe buying it like sometime or something, but yeah. But anyway, I voted for Metaphor. I think Metaphor should have won, honestly. But Silent Hill, I don't know. Outstanding visual style. I mean, it just looks very... Like, I can name 3 games that look like this game. Alright? Resident Evil. And then my mind blanks. Of course it does. I got them in my head, right? Like, I visually imagine the games in my head. But I can't come up with the name. Evil Within, yeah, Evil Within 2. And I can't think of the third one. But you get my point, right? Like, if you look at those games and this game, it just looks the same, right? It's just an apocalyptic horror story with like monsters. You know, like, visually it doesn't stand out, but Metaphor, holy shit, does that stand out. Anyway. Whatever, I'm not here to argue about who's the winner. I'm only here to argue why I think I picked what I've picked. And why I think this shouldn't have won. That's it, you know? Alright, next up is the Most Innovative Gameplay Award. I think I picked Satisfactory again. Now, I didn't know what this game was about. It seemed like a poker game to me, right? Looking at the screenshot, it looked like a poker game with like guns. I mean, yeah. I should probably play it before I can, you know, say what kind of game it really is. But at it's like in first sight, it didn't seem like a really insane innovative game, and I think it still doesn't look like a very innovative game, and I think Satisfactory should have definitely won this, but because Satisfactory is a game for nerds, all right, that likes numbers and like numbers going up and stuff, and statistics. That's a terrible word to say for me. Holy fuck. It didn't win. And honestly, I don't care. You know, for me, it's still better, and that's fine, right? That's in the end of the day, Pokemon. the end of the day, games are for the enjoyer, right? Then the next up, best awards you suck at is, okay, it's Black Myth Wukong. Alright, interesting. I picked Tekken 8 because I think Tekken 8 is a pretty difficult game. I played it like at my friend's place a couple times. Bro beat my ass exclusively. He did not hold back at the very slightest. And yeah, that's why I picked Tekken 8. But Black Myth Wukong, I guess, yeah. I think I said in my video that Black Myth Wukong isn't necessarily a very difficult game. If you just get all the weapons and armor upgrades, right? If you can beat a boss. But I mean, it can definitely kick your ass. I'm not gonna lie, it can definitely kick your ass. If you're stupid and run into the enemies and get killed, like it can definitely kick your ass. You have to like be patient, kill everyone one by one and stuff. So best soundtrack award, I picked Fate simply because I heard Fate soundtrack. I have not played Red Dead Redemption. I don't remember it coming out this year either, or last year. Apparently it did. Okay, that's cool. I did not know that. But I picked Fate simply because, I mean, anime OST always bangs, right? Like, name me one anime that's popular, that has bad OSTs. Exactly. So that's why. That's the only bias I had, or the only consensus I had about this Fate game. I've not played it, right? I just picked it because I know Fate's OST is great, so I just didn't really think that the OST for a game would be bad. That's the only reason. But good on Red Dead, alright? Probably a really good game with good OSTs. Yeah, cool. Definitely deserves it. Then we got another one. Outstanding Story, Rich Game Award. I mean, this could have gone either way about two games, I think. Mouthwashing could have won, and Final Fantasy could have won. But I mean, the fact that Black Myth Wukong didn't win Game of the Year, I think people massively voted Black Myth Wukong because they were a bit salty because it didn't win. So they just voted for Black Myth Wukong on everything. And just because I didn't do it like in that sense, I actually, I explained my reason why I picked this for Story Rich Game Award. I explained that I did not play Final Fantasy, so I don't know how good it is. So if I was wrong, if I'm wrong about that and Final Fantasy should have won, or I should have picked Final Fantasy, then it is what it is. Maybe I'll play it someday. But yeah, Black Myth Wukong won. I'm okay with that. I think it's a good story. I really do. Same with Mouthwashing, alright? From what I've heard of Ghost of Tsushima, sounds like also a pretty good story. Stalker 2, never heard of it. So yeah, next up. The last but not least is Sit Back and Relax Award, and I picked House Flipper. I mean, it seemed like the game to relax, but I understand Farming Simulator. I definitely do, Whenever I used to watch TikToks back in the day, before I got banned, I had a lot of like videos where there was this specific Farming Simulator clip that just, was going ham, right? It's always the same one too. It's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But I get it. I think it's a calming game, I think. It looks like a calming game at least. So, I mean, I'm not even mad. Farming Simulator, I mean, it's been going like strong for 25 years. So, the formula works, so I can't really shit on it. And that was all the awards, man. Let's recap. Alright, so Game of the Year is Black Myth Wukong. Alright, VR Game of the Year is Metro Awakening VR. Labor of Love is Elden Ring. Best game on Steam Deck is God of War. Better with Friends is Helldivers 2. Outstanding visual style is Silent Hill 2. But most innovative gameplay is Lairs Bar. Best game you suck at award is Black Myth Wukong. Best soundtrack award is Red Dead Redemption. Outstanding Story-Rich Game Award goes to Black Myth Wukong. And Sit Back and Relax Award goes to Farming Simulator 2025. That's great. Or 25, not 2025. 25. So yeah, that's it. Right? Yeah, that's it. That's it. That was the Steam Awards. Personally, I'm a lot less salty about the Steam Awards than I am on the Game Awards. Simply because the Game of the Year was actually a game a lot of people played, and a lot of people said it was actually should have won, you know? And whether you like that or not, whether you think Astrobot is objectively a better game than Black Myth Wukong, I just think you're wrong. I'm sorry, man. I'm wrong. Yeah, it's a very good, you know, platformer. I think it looks fun. If I had a PS5, I would definitely buy it. I think it looks like a great game. However, it's a PS5 exclusive that didn't really get the rounds, bro. A lot of people did not play it. And the people that did play it, they didn't really speak out on it. You know, especially in this day and age, if you don't like gas up a game online, I think it deserves a nomination. I think it did, yeah. I think it looks like a great game, but I don't think it deserved a nomination for Game of the Year. Same with Balatro. Like, it's a card game. Like, I'm sorry, man, but I don't think a card game should be winning Game of the Year. I'm sorry, man. And I don't want to say, oh, well, just because it's an indie game. No, that's not it. I think what we learned for this year is, if you see a game that you think is really good, talk about it. Make videos about it. Stream the game. Do something. Make sure your favorite streamer plays the game and, you know, rise it up. I think that should be what we should be doing right now, because games like Balatro and Astrobot definitely went under the radar. I'm not gonna lie. For a significant amount of people, definitely went under the radar, right? And I think that's why it's such a controversial thing that Astrobot won, is because nobody knew about it, and then it won. And then you can look at the judges, and then like 25% or like 30% of the people that judged are like either financially built on Sony, or they are paid by Sony, or they have some association with Sony. And then you're just like, well, then that kind of seems a little bit rigged, doesn't it? You know, like, and especially considering Astrobot is like a giant ad for Sony games, with all the characters from previous games making an appearance. Some levels are even like built around the aesthetic of certain games. Like you have like a God of War level, you have like a Uncharted level, right? You have all these different kind of levels where you are literally playing through that set game in that set aesthetic, and that's cool. I think that's great. Don't get me wrong. I think those things are very cool to do. But like, Game of the Year, really? Really? When Nintendo did this shit like 10 years back, you can't tell me that Astrobot is just a ripoff of the majority of Mario platformers. Like the little beam thing you do is literally from Sunshine. They did that like, when did Sunshine come out? Mario Sunshine come out in 2002. I'm sorry, man. I can't praise you for that. You just used what Mario did in 2002. And I want to clarify, I'm not hating on that because they did that. I'm not hating on that. I just think it wasn't very original. I think anyone could have made this game. That is my point. Anyway, enough criticism on Astrobot. I think I gave credit where it's due. I think I criticized it to a significant degree that people understand it, hopefully. Hopefully I don't get a stupid amount of fucking comments from stupid people that are trying to argue with me, because I'll delete you. No, I'm kidding. But I'll definitely debate you on the ground, okay? I'm sorry, bro. You're not winning these arguments because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not just some idiot that just That's regurgitate. Regurgitate. Wait, what? Regurgitate. Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. If you're gonna say I'm not intelligent just because I can't pronounce that word, that's just ignorance, okay? Because I am multilingual, all right? I speak like 3 different languages. How many do you speak? Exactly. So shut the fuck up, okay? Anyway, with that being said, that's about it. Take care.